Yeah, of course, we're talking about the game yesterday. It was Manchester United 0, Arsenal 1. I was at the game. And yeah, you are right, Mark. Arsenal, I didn't think we were at our best, especially in an attacking sense, especially. We looked very, very flat up front. Wasn't the greatest day for new boy Victor Gyökeres. He couldn't get into the game. I thought Saka was very, very quiet, and Martinelli. But defensively, that thing that's been holding up Arsenal for a long time, or there's been the bedrock of Arsenal for a long time, that combination of Gabriel Saliba at the back, and of course Raya in goal, who's probably, for me, the man of the match for us. And contrasting with your goalkeeper, who had an absolute nightmare for that goal. I mean, Mark, I was saying this to a couple of your fans yesterday. It's all well and good going out and signing, your Cunhas and Mbeuemos, who, by the way, I thought they played well and are going to be very good signings for United. And I'm sure we'll get to the encouraging signs that they showed. But how comes Manchester United have not signed a goalkeeper? It was a problem for United last season and the season before. And it looks like if they don't sort out something before the end of the window, it's going to be a problem this season as well.
Yeah, I mean, I did my reaction on That's Football after I'd done all the United stand stuff, and I said, lucky Arsenal, because, you're looking to talk about the game from an Arsenal point of view, and obviously, you've got AFTV as well, but, DR is about general football. And what I meant by that was I was very complimentary of Arsenal. They were lucky to catch a Man United side that wasn't ready for the start of the season, because I think being away opening game of the season is always difficult. Arsenal weren't at their best. They had to rely on a brilliant defence. And United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, they're ready for the start of the season. They'll probably do a little bit more business, but they're ready. Man United aren't ready. They're putting that goalie in goal. That's not ready. And although some United fans want to call it unlucky, I don't think we're unlucky. I said I was fuming that the board haven't got a key player in for the start of a season that everybody knows starts in the middle of August. So I don't know why. I mean, you can argue about the midfield, but I don't think the midfield was that much of a problem yesterday that we couldn't have got a draw. But the goalkeeper, there's a cross into Rayo, exactly the same. He's being pushed by De Ligt. He comes and he punches it clear. Comes out and pats it into his own goal. So it's just, United played well yesterday. But when I said lucky Arsenal, I just mean that I think if they'd been playing a better prepared team, maybe a Spurs or someone like that, that would have been a more difficult afternoon for them, because United gifted a goal, and then Arsenal just got to go, you know what, opening day of the season, let's rely on our defence. We don't really need to go mad. Their midfield did an immense amount of running. The defence was working really hard. Yeah, there were, Saka was quiet, Gyökeres was quiet, but you think at 1-1 Arsenal have got gears as well. So I was okay about United's performance. It was better than I thought. I don't read anything into Arsenal's. It's opening day of the season. You win if you're bad, whatever, doesn't matter. But you're right. The goalkeeper situation that's on United. It's not unlucky that you put a goalkeeper in that's not very good.
Yeah, I thought that. I thought that even before the game. I've thought that this summer. I was like, why have United not brought in a keeper? When I saw Trafford going to City and various different goalkeepers being sort of up. I just found that strange. Both them and Chelsea, that they haven't sort of moved in for a goalkeeper. But yeah, on the game, I think you've described it pretty well there. I think Arsenal, I was driving up to the game and I was thinking, because when this fixture first came out, I was like, oh my God, Man United away, first game of the season. That's hard enough any time in the season, let alone the first game. But when I was driving up, I was thinking, yeah, but you know what? Maybe this ain't bad for Arsenal, because all right, the atmosphere is going to be unbelievable, and the first game of the season, which it was. But I was thinking to myself, Sesko ain't going to be ready. They've just signed him. Mbeuemo, he hasn't really played all the games. He's been, obviously playing pre-season, but he's not played full games. Nor as, these guys are still getting used to each other, a bit like our players are still getting used to each other. Maybe it's not the worst time to play them either, rather than you play them 10 games in and all these guys are up to speed. So it wasn't a greatest of games, I thought, especially from our side. I thought, like you said there, we got the 1-0 and it's kind of just dug in after that. And we were pretty wasteful with a couple of the counter-attacking chances that we had. But yeah, maybe it was a decent time to catch United. What else do you think United need then before, the end of the transfer window?
A goalkeeper, 100%. I mean, Raya yesterday made a couple of big saves. Nothing I wouldn't expect. He's a good goalkeeper, but that's the difference when you're in the top sort of four. So United need a goalkeeper, 100%. And I think yesterday, that's probably a draw. I think it probably is. So that's a big step. I also think the midfield as well. I don't think it was as big an issue yesterday, but I don't think Casemiro and Bruno work. Bruno in the midfield reminds me of putting someone like Wayne Rooney in the midfield. It's like brilliant player, but he's being played out of position. Casemiro hasn't got the legs. And as you mentioned, I think having Šeško from the start is important. As much as Mason Mount did a job, again, he's playing out of position. Cunha's playing out of position. I think United, but then you look at Gyökeres, who's been at Arsenal 2 weeks longer. And I was saying on my watch along, I just know United fans are going to be doing little compilations, and he was in De Ligt's pocket, etc. But that didn't surprise me either, Robbie, because I'm like, he's not match fit. You can see he's rusty. I picked him for Golden Boot. I think he will score a lot of goals. I'm looking forward to watching Arsenal next week, because I couldn't enjoy it yesterday because it's like against my team. But from a purely football point of view, I looked at the Arsenal team, I looked at the bench, and I went, you know what? It's not really any excuses, as we've said, for Arteta now. It's like it's a good squad. It's got everything he needs. And I think you'd be over the moon, wouldn't you, with that result, really? Winning when you're not that great.
I'm absolutely over the moon to go away to Old Trafford. Remember, we didn't win there last year, right? And to go away to Old Trafford and come away with the 3 points when you're looking at a really difficult start that Arsenal got, that is a great 3 points for yesterday. Forget the performance, forget all of that. Yes, there are lots of things that need sorting out, but that, it was a great 3 points for Arsenal. Make no mistake about it. And when you consider the start with Liverpool coming up at Anfield in 2 games time as well, that was a great start.